Buenos Dias Gunners Collective. Back at it, you already know. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Let's get straight to this shit. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Like a motherfucking ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Like a motherfucking smack at it. Bye-yap, ese bye-yap, ese bye. Orale, as you can tell by that thumbnail, let me respond real quick. Let me react and respond for my homie. It's the Locoman, right? Johnny Rivera from Merced. It came across my feed. Renegade Media, J Hands, first and foremost, Holmes, respects to you and what you got going on, Holmes. I like your channel. I like what you're doing. We've never had a conversation per se. We've never sat down, conversated, went back and forth. But I respect your get down, bro. I'll say that. As far as your movement and what you're pushing, Holmes, that's your thing. More power to you. Respects on that one. Now, I will say this. I see that you did a video on Ese Locoman, the homeboy Locoman, Johnny Rivera, someone that I've known since I was a kid. Someone that I'm very close to, Holmes, that is actually considered like a family member to me. Now, I understand the situation being that, you know, Locoman got incarcerated. And of course, man, he was incarcerated. And years ago, man, he fell off. Okay, that's a fact. That's actual and factual. Years ago, he fell off within the Norteño movement. And that's always been known. Now, he's a very well and famous known person, or famously known person in Merced because of these hands. And not only that, just the style in which he carried himself, Holmes. He was a local man, right? A little different. Just known in Merced to put hands on people, and he'll take your shit. He'll debo up on people. And I mean, that doesn't make him the coolest guy on the block, Holmes, but what that makes him is real. Right? He'll really pull your card. He'll really take your shit. Now, everyone knows that if Locoman hits a yard, he poses a potential threat to do something bad to you. I think you understand that, J-Hands, and I understand that as well. But one man can't fight a molehill, right? One man can't fight a whole bunch of people, and that's understandable. That's just the way it is. If you go against the grain, Holmes, and you're part of a movement or part of a clica or wadi or whatever, Holmes, you're going to go with the flow, Holmes, or the taxation is going to be real. You're going to get smacked on. Now, in this case, when I watched your video, homie, I got to say respects for the props that you did give Locoman. I will say this, as him being a personal friend to me and me doing a lot of dirt with this individual and seeing him in action on several occasions, I know that what you spoke, a lot of it was truth. Now, I can't sit here and say when it comes to the Northern Rider aspect of it, you know, that was the case. I did hear somewhere along the lines, he did become a writer. He did join that movement. And a lot of people did in prison, you know, for one reason or another, and to each their own. You know, one thing I will say is this. Locoman, when he was a Norteño active, this was way people were hitting people up on active, and are you active, and are you about it? He was just about his business. He was about his shit. He was involved in a lot of stuff in the city of Merced. Shh, something about the West Coast. We're not going to tell nobody, right? But at the same time, I knew him personally. You know, a lot of people like to speak his name when it comes to the city of Merced. Oh, you heard about Locoman? You heard about Locoman? I fucking know Locoman. Done slept on the same fucking couch. Move, motherfucker, move, right? Same couches, same houses. Just familia. Somos familia to me, right? A very great friend, but someone that you definitely did not play with, Holmes. He'll pop your top very quickly. Now, I've told a lot of stories on Locoman. And I've talked about how we're still actively out here, man, trying to get that man free. Now, whatever he does and whatever his agenda is while incarcerated in prison, that's that man's thing. He's grown enough and known enough to handle his business. But I do remember at one point in time him functioning after being considered a dropout or whatever the case may be as a gang called the West Side G's or something like that. Some type of West Side movement that he was trying to establish while in Tracy. Of course, a lot of the homeboys from Merced weren't feeling that and told him, hey, bro, we're not with that business. But Locoman's just not the type of person, Holmes, you're going to just go up and punk. That's one thing I'll say, Mr. J-Hands, and respects to you, Holmes. He's not the type of individual you're just going to punk. Now, he's an older vato now. He's gotten up in age, Holmes. He's in his late 50s, I'm sure, right? But at the same time, he's never been the one to bow down. The vato ain't the gangster, the killer, or the dope dealer. This ain't West Side Connection. He does not bow down to individuals. I've known Locoman, like I said, for 30 fucking plus years, and never once have I seen that man bow down to anyone. Now, I can say this, and one thing I can say, like I said, if there's a lot of individuals and you're by yourself, Holmes, you have to make the necessary movement to handle your business. But for the most part, I've always seen that Vato get off first. Period. Okay? Now, your story while you were there and you guys removed him, I believe to be true. I mean, the way you said it, the way you expressed it, Holmes, the no-nonsense way you told it, I respect that. But one thing I will do is defend my homeboy's character and defend my homeboy's get down, because anyone that knows Locoman knows that he's about that shit. Has always been about that shit. Now, whatever movement he's deciding to push, because he's always had that fire burning, that flame in his heart. You know, here, a lot of people don't understand, Holmes, why Locoman was removed. We are very compatible in the way we do things, Holmes, because he was actually removed, Holmes, originally as a Norteño, Holmes, for Red on Red. See, he's the type of homeboy, he didn't care if you were a Norteño, a Southsider, a black, a white, none of that mattered to him, bro. If you ran up on him or you looked at him some type of way, he's going to approach you in the most vicious of fashions. Indubitably. That's just how he was. As a young kid, he was someone that we did look up to in the Vato group. Wasn't considered the big homie. We never had big homies, right? But was considered a righteous individual, Holmes. Someone to model your stilo after, but at the same time, Holmes, watch out, because he was very dangerous. He was not out there trying to proclaim himself as some hardcore Norteño, but he lived that life daily. Okay, so one thing I could say for Locoman, even though he's on the other side, even though he may be pushing whatever movement he's decided to push later on in his life, he still is a righteous individual as a man, as a Chicano, as a brown person, Holmes, and as a Norteño. He was a functioning ass motherfucker, Holmes, that could not be touched. Guaranteed he's well known out the town, right? And well known in the prison system. So as Locoman gets incarcerated and is no longer in good standings, he's one of those type of individuals, you can't convince him of that. He's one of those guys that if there's a fucking yard, he's going to keep on going and keep on going and keep on going. Like the Energizer Bunny. I say he's not going to stop. Okay, that's his character. That's the nature of that man. Some people are cut from a different cloth. Pierda, hard as a rock, comes. Some people are just different. He is one of those guys. That's why I always looked up to him as an individual, because I was in awe of the way he carried himself. Okay, there's not very many people in this world I can sit back and say, wow, this motherfucker's about that shit. He is one of those people, if not one of the only ones I've ever ran into that was really about that shit. Didn't need a whole bunch of people to back his play. Never fucking got involved in a whole bunch of shit. So I guess later on in life, he felt, because he still has that burning desire in his heart, to push the Northern Rider movement. Now, I never heard that. Okay, I never heard that he became a writer. But then again, Holmes, I'm not incarcerated in the penitentiary, so I don't know what the willings and dealings and a lot of things that are going on that are happening daily. If he did become part of the movement, as you say he did, hey, more power to Holmes. I hope he righteously is happy with his decisions that he has made. Ain't nothing wrong with it, Holmes. If you're going to do it, Holmes. You know, check it like a Nike swoosh. Holmes, handle your business. Bo knows. And that's just what that is. Now, one thing I can say about him, as far as him being boisterous, and a lot of people, you know, I see the comments, oh, he's a J-Cat, he's this, he's that. This is something that you can say about a man, but you can never tell him in his face. Okay, he'll bust your mask, Holmes. He'll pop your fucking top. Period. That's a fact. Now, when I see that you guys removed him for whatever infraction he did, hey, it's righteous, bro. When you're part of a movement, no matter what the movement is and what it's considered, right? Because a lot of people, when it comes to the Northern Rider movement, are going to do that. He said, she said, she said, he said. Everyone's going to have an opinion. Okay, I myself have an opinion. The opinion is they're doing what they do. That's their business. I'm going to stay the fuck up out of it. At the same time, I am not part of that. Okay, that's me. If the homie fucking decided that for another reason, there's a lot of vatos from Merced, from Modesto, Sanjo, Fresno, Sacramento, Stockton, Orale, not the serial killer, a whole bunch of different people that have gotten involved in the Northern Rider movement all the way from LA back to the Bay. It's happened. Okay, it's a movement that has picked up steam. Now, whether you go by the Snoop gospel or you go by the other vatos who are against the grain with Snoop or whatever the case may be, their business homes, that's totally up to you. But for me, knowing what I know that there's a lot of individuals, Holmes, that are in bad standings or fell off or just decided that for no other reason, Holmes, they were going to partake in that organization, that movement, and more power to them, Holmes. I don't know the intricacies and the details of that organization because I never fucking involved myself in it, or I never wanted to involve myself in it because that wasn't my stilo. That wasn't how I was raised. That's not my get down. But I don't hate on anyone who gets down who still has that burning flame in their chest to do that. A lot of vatos got involved in that movement because they still wanted to be a Norteño. They liked that northern in that rider cause. Okay? A lot of vatos got involved for a lot of various reasons, and to each their own. One thing I can say about Locoman is he has always considered himself a norteño, whether in good or bad standings. Okay, he's one of those individuals, Holmes, when he was on the calles, you would never approach him like, oh, you're a dropout, because he would drop out your motherfucking double up, you feel me? Not to say that people were spooked or scared of him, but people walked lightly around him in the town. He's one of them vatos, oh, that's Locoman lives on that street. Yeah, let's go around the corner. So let's just go around. Why? Because Locoman was the type that would hit you up, approach you, not you approach him. Now, maybe in this later on in life, in the years, maybe he lost his pep in his step or his steam. I can't call it like an alcoholic. I do know his familia. I go to visit him, Holmes, and I fucking talk to his familia, so it's all good in the hood. You know, I can get a message to him and ask him how he feels about certain situations and what's going on. Like I said, that's the homie. You know, always has been a friend, not only a homeboy, but a friend of mine. You know, I will always look at him and respect him for who he is and the type of man and the charisma that he carries and how respectful he was to me in my life. Do you understand? There was a lot of situations that I was put in that Johnny pulled me out of, right? There was a lot of he looked at me like a little brother. Or he looked at me like a camarada, a homeboy, right? We handled business together on many occasions. So I know what the get down is. That's facts. I'm talking about all this fucking tent skin tight pants and bullshit. I'm talking about real life shit, homeboy. I'm talking about some gang banging. That's it, 90s, early times, right? I'm talking about fucking pull up and pop your motherfucking shit back, hatchback. I'm talking about motherfucking drop top, ese. I'm talking about AK-47s, assault rifles, allegedly, right? This is that type of individual he was. You know, motherfucker rocking a 38 with rubber bands. You know what I'm saying, though. And a red paño. The wind was blowing. Now, when I looked at your video, Holmes, and I respect your get down, you guys removed them. And you know, it's harsh to hear. Anytime you have a homeboy, and I know you yourself, Mr. Hands, have had a homeboy removed, or maybe you've been removed yourself, right? And at the same time, Holmes, it's a sticky situation, and you hate to hear it. Because anytime that you have a familia member or a good, righteous homeboy, and you hear about him getting hands put on him, and you know he's down, Holmes, and it's like, damn, these vatos are pushing up on him because of some political reason, or because they just don't like him, or because they fear him, or because he fucked up, or whatever the case may be, Holmes. As long as he doesn't have no weird fucking cases, you know, you feel like maybe he should have got the benefit of the doubt. And I'm not just saying within the Locoman's case because he's my homeboy. I'm saying in anybody's case, they should get their due process and their just due. When it gets to the point of putting hands on people and removing them, Holmes, there needs to be a fucking real reason behind it rather than just fucking remove him because he poses a threat or he put hands on a homeboy and he's over here fucking checking homeboys. And hey, there's motherfuckers like that. Everyone has a different attitude, bro. Hey, that's part of the game. That's it. You know, everybody moves differently with the purpose. Now, one thing I can say about Locoman is he's always been that way. He's one of them dudes, and I can only imagine, I've done county jail time with him, never been on a prison yard with him, but he's one of those dudes that I can imagine on the yard, Holmes, poses a threat to everyone because of the way he is, and because he does have those hands. Someone like Snoop, okay, let's take Snoop for instance, who's very well known to have hands. Someone like Phantom, who's very well known to have hands. Someone like Bacha Mendoza, who is very well known to have hands. That if you go around these individuals on the yard, Holmes, you already know, man, shit can go down. People always want to test the abilities of another man. Okay, Locoman is just like that. He's one of those guys that ain't being played out. Now, he was removed, and you said that, of course, he ended up going somewhere with Snoop and getting back on as far as the Northern Rider movement. Now, I can't speak on that, bro. I don't know if he was a Northern Rider or he wasn't. You're saying he was, and I'm going to take your voice at face value, bro, and say respects. I believe it. I believe it because he strikes me as the type of individual that would do that because he loved the canalismo of the movement. That's one thing I could say about Locoman. For as many people feared him and despised him and hated on him because of who he was and because of the hands he had, they always he always showed love until there wasn't no more love to be shown. That's facts, okay? I've told the story about one time, man, I fucking got into a wreck. Fucking some hyena called me. She's like, hey, what's up? Motherfucker, my old man just left me. He left me 2 pounds, 3 pounds, right? I was like, is it bomb? She was like, it's bomb. I said, I'm gonna go, let me buy it off you and shit, right? I knew I shouldn't have been over there fucking fooling with her. The tomfoolery of it was real, right? I know I shouldn't have went against the grain, but this dude wasn't from my water. He wasn't my homeboy. Fuck this dude. That's it. Oh, I was gonna find out though, right? Oh, I was really gonna find out. And I actually went over and I was like, oh, I'm gonna burn this chick, double up, And I was like, how much for a peasy? She was like, I don't know how much they go for. I said, a hundo. She's like, shoot it. Ran that hundo, took the peasy, thought I was balling out, right? This is back in the days when we meant something, right? When you couldn't get it on every fucking local store. Cookies. Anyways, I fucking thought I was balling out, done fucking slanged half of it, and then out the shadows comes a motherfucker with a suitcase looking dark asking my name. Of course, I got me a little thing on me, so the homeboy's like, wait up, hold on, this motherfucker's being, this motherfucker came out like the Night Stalker on you, that's right? Homeboy hits him up. Anyways, moral of the story is, the Vato was feeling some type of way. I cashed him out like Spencer Holmes, you know what I mean? I was just trying to play the bitch out of pocket. He was like, yeah, yo, she suffered for that, right? And he was on some North shit, Holmes. It was all good, bros before hoes, and the hoes got smacked out, and that was his business, right? That was his wife. Anyways, boom, boom, boop, boop, boop. I paid him back. Spencer on Latino. Can I keep a joint at least, right? Even though I don't smoke, the homeboys do. But as I walked around the corner, there was a trunk open, Holmes, and Mr. Johnny Rivera was right there looking at me, and I was like, what? You was gonna do me dirty? He's like, I didn't even know it was you, bro. You know what I mean? Closed that trunk and we were good in the hood. Now, I tell that story, I say that to say this. That was his mentality. He did not give a fuck. So when I hear stories about Locoman, and Locoman spoke on by people that are outside of the town, people that didn't grow with them, right? You know, it's kind of hard on my ears, but at the same time, I respect Renegade Media. I respect Jahan, so I understand that he has been incarcerated. He has done time. So he's not going to just fucking tell a story to tell it, Holmes. There's going to be some merit behind it. That's facts, right? I'm here to stamp that. But one thing I can say is when you're speaking about my homeboy Locoman or speaking of my friend, man, put a little, give him a little motherfucking, you know, some accolades. You know, the Vato done did it for many, many, many years. Holmes, before me, myself, and you, Jahans, were ever thinking about anything, Holmes, he was already rocking the North. The Huelga bird was real. Okay? Whatever he's doing now in life, still fighting his case, and I know that's a fact, Holmes, because I just talked to his peoples, and it's all good. Like I said, they visit him every weekend. And as far as whatever he's got going on in there within the Northern Rider movement or whatever movement he's involved in, more power to him, Holmes. Blessings. Blessings. You know, a lot of people don't know the individual, but he is not the one. He's one of Northern California's most notorious. Okay, a lot of people that don't know him from different cities are like, man, fuck that dude. Let me tell you something, Holmes. That is a dude you do not want to fuck with. Whether he's in good standings, bad standings, the motherfucker could stand. As long as he could stand, he's got these, right? And that's a fact. Let me tell you something. I have a primo. And my primo used to be with this chick. Well, she's fucking, you know how the hyenas I said, que piruja, right? She likes to play it back and forth. She's playing hard to get, she just won't admit it. Anyway, she's fucking back and forth between my primo and Locoman. Bad move, bitch, right? Back and forth, and somewhere along the line, these guys find out about each other. Now, my primo's no joke. My primo got major hands, right? Let me tell you, Johnny knocked his ass fucking through an alley, through a wall, passed over the fucking fence, went in the store, grabbed a beer, slammed that motherfucker, came back out, beat him up a little bit more. That's the type of individual he was. So when the Vatos remove him and they do that, I can see it happening, Holmes. But, you know, what can I say? I just had to react and defend my homeboy in saying that he's a righteous dude. He'll always be righteous in my eyes and in the eyes of the city of Merced. A lot of people, Holmes, got a lot of love for him. And we don't look at him as the big homie, bro. We look at him as a fucking good homeboy. I don't care what he's doing, what part of organizations he's from and all that. That's his life. That's his vida, Holmes. He can do whatever he wants. I'm not going to look at him any less, bro. But whatever he went through in prison with you, J-Hands, and whatever anyone feels about him, I can tell you this, bro. On the one-on-one tip, he's not that one, bro. He is definitely not that one. You know, put a little respect on his name, please. Porfas. Just a little bit of respect, bro, because he's deserving of that. He's one of the founding fathers of Merced, Holmes, of the Norteño wisdom, Holmes, of the Northern movement. Okay, a lot of us didn't even know about the shit, Holmes, until we seen Locoman getting in and out of prison, Holmes. He's been doing prison times before me and you know how to spell it. Respects to you, brother. You know what I mean? I would not give harsh responses. And like I said, man, does this mean I'm tripping on Renegade Media? And yeah, absolutely not, Holmes. In fact, I just gave Flacco my number and told him, hit me up. If it's major, call me on my pager, bro. He'll get at him because I want to have a slight conversation with the man and talk about it. But at the same time, man, just put some respect on my homeboy's name, please. I'm asking as a respected a brown man, bro. Because that's my boy right there, bro. And I know deep down inside, bro, he ain't that motherfucker, right? Now, whatever the case may be, your Northern Rider business is your guys' business. I'm not going to involve myself in that, Holmes. And to me, Holmes, it's not detrimental to me because I could care less, right? But at the same time, respect to you and yours and what you got going on, Holmes. Locoman, you already know what it is, Holmes. You know your boy had to pop up like ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Because bang, bang, shh, we won't tell nobody. something about the West Coast. With that being said, I hope that you guys move smooth with a purpose. Hope that you get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of the day, I fucks with the real ones because the real ones fucks with me. You know what the business is, man. If you like it, thumbs up. If you don't, thumbs down. Heavy as the head. I'm going to wear this motherfucking crown. I'm a struggle and strive for what I truly believe in. That's the unity of all people. Locoman. Free my boy Locoman. A real one. I don't give a fuck about none of the bullshit, man. That dude right there is a killer, humps. Or is he? One never knows, does one. Allegedly.